Hi, I'm Mike Massimino. We've been following along with the astronauts who are going to fly the next shuttle mission to the International Space Station. What you are about to see is the crew practicing for their mission, the team that is responsible for training them, and get a sense of what it's like to fly the shuttle. This is STS-130 behind the scenes. George Zamka, the commander of STS-130. I've just realized, I'm talking, you're a Marine Corps guy,
right?
And Scorch is a Marine Corps guy. Both of you went to the Naval Academy, right? And now you're one after the other. Is the Marine Corps all excited about this?
Yeah, there is something I want to say about it. Actually, I'm the third Marine commander in a row because
that's right. You had CJ.
We had CJ Sturkow before them,
all right.
We had Doug Hurley, who flew before that. So actually, we've had 5 Marines fly in a row up on the last space shuttle missions that we've had. So it's been pretty big for us and pretty exciting. And Marine Corps is small. Everybody knows everybody. So there's a lot of excitement. Certainly, we're excited, and the folks that we flew with are also excited. So it's really been neat. I'm the end of the run though, so it'll be a little while before the next Marine flies.
Well, what do you had a nice run there. So
we had a great run.
You should all be proud of it. I'm sure the Marine Corps are very proud of you.
We had a great run.
Here we go.
All right.
Very good.
Anything else, George?
No, sir.
All right. Well, thanks for letting us in. I know you're busy.
You bet.
They're calling over here for you probably. You got a lot of stuff to do, but thanks for letting us in and sharing some of the time with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming by.
All right. Well, what are you doing? What's your role during this? Are you working robotics today, or systems, or what do you got?
Today in this simulation, we're working on Node 3 activation, and specifically I'm setting up some of the different environmental control systems inside of Node 3, getting that all ready to get a fully functioning compartment for the International Space Station for the long term.
Well, we know you're busy. Appreciate you letting us speak to you. Good luck with the rest of this set. Okay.
Tara Sabinsky, DPS Nav Instructor.
Okay, now DPS Nav, what does that mean? It's like mumbo jumbo.
Data
what is that?
System and navigation system.
Data processing, which is like your computers and stuff.
And navigation, which is what gets you where you want to be.
That's important stuff.
Yes, to get you back to Earth.
All right, very important stuff.
Sam Schreiber.
Sam Schreiber.
Sam Schreiber.
All right.
From Long Island, New York.
From Long Island? Where in Long Island are you from?
Glen Cove area.
Oh, that's nice over there. Yeah, they wouldn't even let me into that area when I was a kid. No.
You're blocked now?
No, they wouldn't. Yeah, they would see me come and and they would be like, no, go back to where you belong.
Flight control, guidance, and propulsion instructor.
All right. So how did you get here from Glen Cove, New York? This is interesting.
Through one school to the other, and then...
What school?
University of Maryland, then University of Florida.
Wow, okay.
Got an internship and started working here full-time afterwards.
Wow, so you were very interested in NASA growing up in Long Island, just like I was, except, like, about 100 years after me, apparently. But, all right, so you like what you're doing?
I love what I do.
Do you miss New York?
Every day.
You really?
Yeah.
You going there for the holidays?
No. I'm getting married in 3 weeks, so I'm actually,
you are really?
going to Italy in 3 weeks. So.
What the heck is going on? Can you imagine?
Italy, New York, it's very similar.
You're going to Italy for your honeymoon?
Yeah.
Where in Italy are you going?
Rome, Florence, Siena.
When are you going to be there?
Over New Year's.
Okay, we're going to be there. I'm going to be there in 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
I'm heading a week. Wait a minute. 2 weeks I'll be there. Yeah, I'm going to. Anyway. Okay, well, that's cool. So you're getting married. That's big. And where you get married? Down here?
In
or?
the Woodlands.
So your fiance is from Texas?
Yeah.
So you're never going back to New York, are you?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you're going to be stuck. All right. All right. Well, thanks very much. Who else we got over here?
We got Robin.
Who we got here, George?
Robin.
Robin? Robin, what's your last name, Robin?
Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Enix.
Enix.
You should say it like Phoenix.
But it's Enix with an E?
With an E.
Okay. And what do you got going here, Robin?
The shuttle comm instructor, so.
So you're going
to... She breaks calm. She makes sure we can't talk to each other or...
Right.
And then we got to figure out how to fix it.
Okay, so during this sim, you're probably going to do that to them at some point, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to talk to each other or to you, as George said, and they're going to have to try to figure this out.
Right, it's the most important system.
It's the most important system.
Yeah,
so
because if you can talk to the ground, then they can fix it for you.
Right, that's the thing. You want to be able to talk. If you can't, because then it becomes harder, right? You can't. It's harder, right? Don't you think? I mean, you got to figure everything out on your own.
A lot harder. 10 times harder when we can't talk to each other or talk to Houston.
It's good when you have all these, like 1,000 people down here helping you out, as opposed to trying to figure it out on your own. You guys can figure it out on your own, of course. But
we can figure most stuff out on our own, but we're not a very big team. They have a big team that knows exactly what's going on.
It's a lot better. I was looking at space flight's an open book test, and the people down here are part of the open book. You ask them a question, they tell you the answer. Or they let you know what you need to know. So that's really important stuff. All right. And who's our last guy over here? Dave.
Systems guy.
Dave's a systems guy. Now, systems, that can mean a lot of things, systems.
Dave Denham. What's it mean, Dave?
It does mean a lot of things. It's electrical, hydraulics, eclipse, which is life support, thermal, mechanical, caution and warning, and pretty much anything else that nobody wants to claim, we get stuck with.
Okay, so it's lots of stuff. It's like everything, just about all that stuff. So you're going to give them different failures as well today. Can you tell us what you're going to do to them? Secrets? Can you tell us your secrets? You don't want them to know, do you?
That's okay. They won't figure it out.
Give me an example.
Let's see, we're gonna...
You don't have much confidence in these guys? What's up?
No, they'll figure it out.
Okay.
They won't know beforehand.
Okay, they won't know what the problem is.
We're gonna kill some cooling, and then we're gonna leak some atmosphere into the cabin, and then we're gonna short out a main bus.
This is just on one sim?
Yeah.
On one run?
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Then we're gonna take away their vehicle cooling, and then we're gonna break their payload bin.
Were you born in England? Because you're also...
I was born in the north of England.
You're born in... And your dad was from England, right? But your mom was American?
No,
was that
both my parents are English.
So how'd you end up in the U.S.?
Well, my father came here to business school in the 60s.
Oh, my goodness.
When there weren't business schools in Europe.
Uh-huh.
And he liked it, so eventually we ended up staying.
Eventually ended up staying. Because you're also from New York.
I lived in New York for many years.
All right. And you... For many years, but it didn't affect your accent. See, you and I have, we both speak English, if I could be brave enough to say that, right?
So I missed it. Sorry, Mike.
We both speak English.
We do?
Yes.
After a fashion.
After what?
After a fashion.
I don't even know what that means, but he said, so you're, but I mean, my accent's a little bit different than yours, but you spent a lot of time in New York, but you weren't polluted.
I spent holidays in New York.
Spent holidays?
Most of my time in London.
So can you do a New York accent if you're in New York?
Not really. I don't want to get beaten up.
But you were in New York for quite a while.
Yes,
right?
my family lived there for many years.
Right. Okay. And you and I know each other for a long time, Nick. Did you know that, George?
No, I didn't.
You know how long Nick and I know each other?
Oh, it's something like 20 years.
It was over 20 years. We went to graduate school together.
Mike and I shared an office at MIT.
Oh, right.
I met Nick in 1989.
Small world thing, right?
Yeah, and our desk. Our desks are right next to each other.
We sat this far apart.
This far apart from each other. And we became good friends, George.
And this is back when Mike was funny.
I was funny back then, right?
Really?
Nick is, right, Nick? Tell George, wasn't I funny back then?
Now.
See, what's that?
So I can imagine being funny.
Oh, I'm boring now, aren't I, Nick? Wasn't I funny back
You were
then?
even funny.
I wasn't dragged down by life back then, George.
I was a little younger.
I was younger. I was still in my 20s. I've heard a lot of Nick's stories, but if you don't mind sharing one. When you played the timpani when you were in grade school, you mind sharing that story, Nick? Because kids they see you as this big fancy astronaut in his get-up, but you were going to school as in England this happened, right?
I played in the orchestra, the school orchestra.
Okay. So would you mind telling us a story if you have a minute? I know you're busy.
No, and we were playing the national anthem.
Catching all this?
We were playing the national anthem, the school songs.
The national anthem of England.
Yes, I was at school in England, so
okay.
it was the English national anthem.
Which is what? What's the name
It's
of it?
called God Save the Queen.
God Save the Queen.
Very important song.
Big song.
Very important.
Even I know about that song.
And I was one of the percussion section, a member of the percussion section.
Percussionist.
I had the cymbals, the big cymbals.
Cymbal, big one.
So it may not be the most important instrument in the orchestra, but it's just about the most visible because you stand up and you crash them together like this.
And at the time that you're supposed to crash those things, I would say it's the most important
Probably.
instrument. But
Just
that's
at that
second.
instant. And in fact, they start off the song.
Yeah.
And we'd rehearsed this many times, and it had always gone well. And it went on the downbeat, the conductor's downbeat of his wand. I forget what they call them.
Baton, I think it's.
Thank you.
Baton?
His baton.
Wand would be like if he was a magician. Like Harry Potter's band, they
that's
have
true.
a wand, but I think
Well,
probably your guy
school's
probably
a little
had
bit like Hogwarts.
But it was in England, so I really don't know. Maybe it was a wand. Go ahead.
So on the day, with Churchill's daughter at the school songs, and it was a very important day. It was in honor of Churchill. This performance.
Was it his birthday or something? Was it Churchill's birthday?
I forget whether it was his birthday or not, but it was in honor of Churchill.
Wow, Churchill's a big guy.
Yeah,
he was important. Yeah, this is a big thing.
So on the day, I'm watching the conductor very carefully, and the song builds up to the point at which all the instruments kick in. And so you have to wait for the conductor. You don't know when it's going to start.
Yeah.
And instead of a nice, crisp baton wave,
Yeah.
I got something that went like this. And I wasn't quite sure when to crash them, so I didn't crash the cymbals.
You didn't. On the big day.
Hey,
You did
at
not
that point
crash
in
the cymbals
song.
for God Save the Queen. And Churchill's daughter was in attendance? Is that what it was? This was a big deal.
It was.
And you were how old?
Oh, I was 15.
15 years old.
Old enough to be embarrassed.
Did you get in trouble afterwards? Did the conductor come see you? Did you run, leave? Is that why you came to America, Nick?
That's it. That's why I immigrated.
All right. See, stuff like, we talk like that. That's how we talk here in the space. Copy that, that kind of thing. You watch the movie Apollo 13, you learn how to talk as a Capcom. What are you doing with the camera, John? Give me that thing.
No.
Give me the camera.
I want you to talk about what you're doing.
All right, go ahead. What? Go ahead.
I want to know what you're doing. You've been
John Grunsfeld is filming this, by the way.
you've been describing how you learned to talk as a Capcom,
Yes.
and you're actually
I made
talking
that
to a
up, I
live
learned.
crew now.
Well, yeah, they're live in the simulator, and Gary is our flight director here, and yeah, they're over there, we're over here, we're practicing what we're going to do, and we support them when they're flying in space, hopefully in the beginning of February.
During these simulations, do you ever forget that they're just in a metal box, and you start thinking it's the real deal?
Nah. Not really. I mean, what I think is, we're practicing for when they're actually going to do it. And you work the same way. And I think, I think there's a bit of difference between the real thing and the sim, but, you get practice here, it prepares you for the real thing. But it's nothing quite like the real experience of going through a real flight. So, I'm listening, they're talking to my ear right now. But go ahead. It's space stuff.
You can ignore them?
I can ignore. I hear him talk, but it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not just taking video. I'm working as a Capcom, which, here's the little sign that says Capcom, which stood for originally Capsule Communicator, right? But we don't call the thing a capsule anymore.
Right.
Right? We call it a spacecraft. So they say Capcom, a spacecraft communicator.
Right.
We should be like a Spacecom or something, shouldn't we? This is beyond our pay grade. How'd you get into this game? How'd you get to do this? Because this is a pretty cool job. I mean, astronaut's a pretty cool job. A flight director's a pretty cool job. I mean, how did you get into? How did this happen?
Well, I came straight out of college. Here's a flight controller actually sitting in the console. You can see right behind me, the Inco console. You can see
That's
those
that guy
guys
sitting
sitting
over
right
there.
there.
He's awake, thank goodness, or else, yeah, all right.
They're responsible for the communications asset and
Right.
the video systems on the orbiter and all the commanding and telemetry.
Okay.
So I actually did that job for about 14 years.
Right out
for
of
the most
college.
part.
So you
And
get out of college and right already you started to train and going. That's pretty cool.
Yep. So I
That's a
did
lot
that.
of responsibility
Did
coming
that for a long
right out
time.
of college. Yeah.
About 70-some missions worth over there.
All right.
And competed to become a flight director and got selected, and
Right.
so I've been fortunate enough to actually, this would be my 4th mission as
Yeah.
a shuttle flight director.
Yeah.
So, a lot of years, a lot of hard work,
Yeah.
but it paid off.
All right. So what's going on now? What are we doing here?
I'm about to leave for actually.
You're gonna leave?
No, I'm gonna stay.
Oh, okay.
Some kind of show, slideshow.
No, but it's a debrief, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna debrief. How did they do in the run?
They did pretty good.
They didn't screw everything up?
No. Definitely not my
They
stuff.
did good?
Yeah.
Better than last time?
What's the number that it's usable, like 1,600?
Yeah, it'll be 1,700 through.
1,700.
Yeah, okay.
So below 1,700, your else kicked it out. It's not even trying to use it.
Don't pay attention. It's just talking numbers. So they did bad last time?
No,
They did good last time. They did even better this time.
We do better every time.
Every time you get better.
It's great. It's great because, beginning, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, things were kind of, a little rocky, communication back and forth was sometimes a little hard. But as time's gone on, they really gelled together. Like, the crew just gelled together really well.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, so things are
That's
real
good. That's
smooth.
what you hope for.
Yeah.
You don't want them to get worse.
No.